Which one is this? Session 3 or session 4 is that?
This is session number 6. I unfortunately make it session number 5, but this is session number 6.
But where is Monday session? I'm not able to find out that recording session.
Okay, I'll check with Sunana.
Okay. Yeah. Fine. Everybody are in? Bharat is there? Mohan?
Praveen and Madhukar are there. Bharat is
He is not able to joining. He can't.
No, you can ask him
Bharat is
to
not
join
able to
now.
join.
Now he can able to join. Because earlier the host is not joined. That's the reason he's not able. Now he can do.
Vinod, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, like I was having mic issue.
So guys, I have a question on the previous session. Guys, any from the previous session?
Anyone else? Mohan. So I mean, I need to watch
No,
the
no, no.
session. Then only we can. Yeah, then we can go ahead.
Okay, cool. So what I am trying to do at the moment is I am trying to install the one identity, Active Directory module in our lab. Okay. So once it is installed, I will just go on my instance and I will create again the 4 instances, and you all will also be able to see the Active Directory. Okay, because this is a blank VDI, so Active Directory module and nothing is installed in there. So I'm just
Share the
installing.
screen. Are you sharing the screen?
No, I'm not sharing my screen. I'll just share my screen. So, okay.
Hello, hi everyone.
Hi Bharat, can you hear us?
Yeah, Praveen, I can hear you.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay, let me share my screen. Let me know once my screen is visible to all of you.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. So I have just installed the Active Directory over here. So you can see Active Directory domains and the users and core pass me identity that I have recently created. we will be having any data over here. Users, computers,
So this is already installed Active Directory. Then how it is?
no, I have installed it using the CMD.
Mhm.
Okay, so now what we need to do is I'll open one of the tools. And one more thing, like the issue that we were facing, and on that day, if you remember that there was a database error 703. So basically, that error was coming up because the memory, the RAM that we have allocated to our lab environment is 4 GB. And the amount of RAM, because we opened a lot of tools and we opened the SQL Manager server and everything, so the 4 GB RAM was fully occupied. Okay, so that is why there was no operations that was getting handled. So if so, I'll request you all guys, when you are working on any particular tool, okay, so just open 2-3 tools at a time. And if you are not using SQL Server, you can
Abhinav,
just yeah.
yeah, Abhinav, sorry to disturb you. So you have configured that this one, right? So that job server and all. So you said that you will copy that instance for everything for all four. Was that done?
No, it's yet not done because of the fact that Active Directory was also not installed. So I have recently
Okay.
installed the
Once all
Active
done.
Directory. Yeah. So I've recently
Got it,
installed
got
the
it.
Active Directory. So I'll just ask the person. So he'll in the background will create a lab for all of you.
Okay. Done.
They will install the AD for all of us, right?
No, not AD, everything. So like what they will do, so the current instance that you are having, so it would be deleted, and the instance that I am working on will be copied for all of you again. So whatever is installed on my VDI will be installed on your VDI as well.
So then how we can install that if we how then?
No, you don't have to do anything. It will be already installed over there. So copy of VDI means that the same things that I am having over here in my VDI, you will also be having. But whatever you will be creating now, from the time the new VDI is created, will be personal to you. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah, if we want to connect the AD to one identity and do the things, that will be already set up in your system, right?
Yes, Active Directory is already installed. So now when you will be creating a connector, or when you will be trying to find a Active Directory domain over there, so you will be able to find the Active Directory domain. Now currently what will happen, that if you will log in to Sync Editor or any of the Sync Editor, you won't be able to find any Active Directory. It's not available. Okay, so today what we'll do, last time if you remember, uh, we created a particular script, okay, on vb.net, but due to the fact that our system was not working, we were not able to test it, right? So today what we'll do is we'll try to configure a new sync project over here, and then we'll see that how it works, okay, how the script will work, because currently there is no data in our Active Directory domain or groups, nowhere. So we will try to create a new sync project today, and we'll see how it works. Once the data comes from the Active Directory that is opened over here to our one identity manager server, then we will okay. So let me open configure a new sync project. Okay, so when I click on configure a new sync project, it will open a synchronization editor tool, which you can see at the moment. And as I told you in our first or second session, that as you move higher to the versions, like currently we are using 8.1. So you can only see Active Directory connector, active roles, CSV, naive connector, one identity manager, SCIM, and Windows PowerShell connector. But as you move higher, like 8.2 or 9 version, you will also see Azure Active Directory connector over here, Exchange connector over here. Okay, you will also see like the connectors like SAP connector over here, SAP R3. Okay, so a lot of new connectors you will be able to see. Similarly, as the number of connectors will increase, the numbers of tables will also increase. So currently, I showed you that in Object Browser, we only have the hierarchy of ADS, okay, ADS user, ADS group, ADS user, and ADS group, and like that. But when you'll have Azure Active Directory connector, SAP connector, so you will have the hierarchy for those connectors also. Okay, so you will have the new tables like AAD user, AAD group, EXH user. Okay, similarly for SAP also you will be having different tables available in the higher versions. So what is the role of these things? So currently we'll be working on Active Directory connector, but we have active roles. This is used for Active Directory through active roles. So active roles is something that if your organization wishes to use the setup of active roles is something that based on the roles and everything, the accounts and the definitions are assigned to the person or the user. Okay. Then we have this CSV connector. CSV connector is also something that we are going to do in the next case. Okay. Naive database connection is something that suppose there is a database that is in a different environment. Okay. Or is a different kind of connector, database. So that you can connect from this naive database connector. Then one identity manager connector. So this is mostly used. Suppose that you want to connect to a different environment. Okay, you want to connect to a dev environment or stage environment or UAT environment or any other particular one identity manager database. So you can use this one identity manager connector over here. Then we have this SCIM connector. Okay, this SCIM connector is used to connect to like when you are requiring the REST API or something like that. Okay, so you can use this SCIM connector. Then we have this Windows PowerShell connector. So Windows PowerShell connector, as the name suggests, so we will be using the PowerShell commands to create a connector. Okay, so these are the different types of connectors that we have. Now, if I select the Active Directory connector over here, so the first option over here is that if your Active Directory database is outside of the current server, like currently we are using this server. Suppose our Active Directory database is installed outside of this server. Okay, so you will select this particular option, provide the remote connection details, and then proceed further. Because our Active Directory database is in the same server, we don't need to select this. Okay, so I'll select next over here. So as you can see, when you select this, okay, when you open this connector, automatically it will fetch the Active Directory domains that are currently present in your server. So because of the fact this corp askmeidentity.com is something that I recently created when I installed the Active Directory. Okay, so you can see it automatically fetched this this particular domain over here. Okay, now the next thing, we'll click next. It will ask for a user and a password. Okay, so for the user and password, what we'll do is we'll come back over here and we'll pick a particular account from here. Okay, suppose we pick let's pick the guest account, or so let's use administrator and see if it works. So we'll apply these settings, click OK. Then I'll right click on this and click on reset password. Put a password over here. Now we'll have to figure out that how this thing will take. So that also is something that depends on different machines and versions. So what we'll do is come back over here and type user as core, sorry, core admin and then @corp. So once we enter these details, we'll need to click on test. It is saying the username or password is incorrect. Let's remove this corp from here and retest. So you can see the connection is successful. That means the credentials that I have provided over here. So I'm able to, with these credentials, like with this user and password, I am able to connect to this ADS domain, that is corpaskmeidentity.com. So I'll click next now. Okay. So now it will ask me for the binding options. So recently, like these are the different types of options that are available in the system when you are doing for the first time. Okay, like signing, sealing, delegation, fast bind, server bind, and read only server. So these are the different types of options that are available. So I'll be sharing a document with you. Okay, in that document it will give you an insight of what each option will give. Okay, so that I'll be sharing with you. Okay, now you can see that what is domain controller. This is the domain controller that we are using, and this is the port that is required to connect to this particular domain controller. Now you can use SSL. Okay, SSL will, what it will do, it will create a secure session layer for your this particular setup. Okay, if you want to create a SSL layer, then you can use it. Otherwise, so what will happen if I use the SSL, it will change the port number. So if I select the SSL, you can see the port number has changed to 636. Okay, now if I remove this SSL, it will use the port number 389. So we'll let it be in the without SSL only, and we'll click test. So you can see the connection is successful. Okay, we'll click next again. Now there are multiple options, like what kind of features you want. Restore objects from the recycle bin if an object with the same distinguished name or GUID is added. Allow read and write access to remote service RAS. Allow read and write access to terminal service properties. So this is something that you can select based on the requirement of your organization. Okay, we'll click finish. Okay, so once we have finished it, Windows authentication. So what it is doing now, this is our one identity manager database server. Okay, because it requires Windows authentication, so it is selecting the Windows authentication. Database is 1IM. This is our 1IM database that has been selected automatically. Click next. Okay, the target system schema was loaded successfully. Click next to continue. So that this means that our target system database, whatever we have tried, like added this ADS domain and everything, this is now successfully connected to our connector. Okay, now click next. Okay, so now it is asking what kind of access do you want to provide to our one identity manager database. Do you want only read-only access to target system? This setting is something that you can change anytime. Okay, but at the time of installation, it will ask you. But once it is installed, then also you can change this setting. Okay, so it is
So
asking that it. Yeah.
this will be for entire target system, or only the, I mean, later also we can change this, right?
Yeah, you can change it anytime. So I'll show you where this option is once it is installed. But during the installation also, it will ask you that do you want the read-only access to target system or you want the read and write access.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll select the read and write access for now and click next. Now it will ask the synchronization server. So synchronization server is something that I told you that whenever we are connecting to any target system, we require a job server, right? So this was discussed when we were discussing about the one identity manager architecture, where I told you that job server is something that will be used to connect to any target system. Okay, so we already have this job server available in our server that we installed. So I'll select this one. Next, activate and save synchronization project automatically. So we'll check this box and click on the finish button. Not sure what happened here. We'll have to configure it again. So basically, it was trying to do this insertion, but somehow there is some issue that has stopped it from doing so. Okay. Somehow it is not allowing to insert the data into the one identity manager database. I'll have to get into this. So why it's not allowing? Maybe because of some permission issues or something
Or
that are there.
or else we can cover any other topic apart from this at least. So, other if it is interconnected to this thing, then it's up to you.
Sorry, could you repeat that?
So, okay, can we connect in any other topic then instead of this, or else it should be interconnected to the same topic? Then it's up to you.
Yeah. So what I'll do is that, see, because of the fact that it is not working over here, let's try to do one more thing. It is. Yeah, the issue is that until and unless we have like the connection to our this thing, we'll not be able to do anything related to our Active Directory. Okay, so let's do one more thing. I think I have that demo session also available with me. Not sure. They mentioned username and password still is not working. Let's do one thing. Let's open it from here. This PC, local disk C, program files. Okay, so if it is not working, let me show you something else then. So what we'll do is, last time we created a script, we'll see how to use it. Actually, the issue is that one identity has completely boycotted or decommissioned the versions 8, 8.1 and the earlier versions. So there are a lot of things that are not working in the labs. And the new versions that they have provided are mostly enterprise versions. So they are only for the for the organizations that they have provided. So that is the reason there are a lot of things that are not working on this lab. Any idea, like the person, like some of you I think already working on one identity. So which version are you using?
Mohan, I don't know.
9.2.
We are in 9.2.
Okay.
So remember, we created this script ADS test. Now I will name it as person test instead of ADS test, because obviously we are not having the ADS thing working. So Control All, Control C. So this is now person test. Now instead of creating a connection to ADS group table, I'll create a connection to the person table. Okay. Instead of getting the UID ADS group, what I can do is I'll go to the manager person object and see what all things we have. These are the 4 users that we have recently added. So okay, so let's do one thing. Let's check their identity type. So identity type for this person is primary. Select identity type from person. Okay, all of them are primary only. Okay, so what we'll do is, instead of this, we'll type dim identity type connection.config parameter. We'll rename this to identity type. Okay, and now what we'll do, because we have added a config parameter, we'll come back to our config parameter over here, custom, and instead of this we'll put the value identity type over here. The value would be primary. Commit to database, save. Any idea, guys, on this error? I think database is not allowing to insert the data. Let me just check this error. Give me a moment. Let's reload the data and see. I'm not sure this tool is very much 8.1 version, so it's not allowing me to do anything. Last night only I was working on this and I created this script and it was saving. Now it is not doing anything. Any one of you can you just open the demo version of One Identity and share your screen? Guys, any one of you can share your screen and open the demo version by One Identity. I don't know why the username and password is not working for me. Might be it will create a new session for you and you will be able to do that.
Bharat, Bharat, can you do it?
Yeah. Actually, I'm trying to log in. Previously used to start immediately. Abit, can you share the URL in the chat?
Sorry, could you repeat?
Can you share the URL in the chat? The URL which I am trying to use, right? It is asking additional details.
No, it will ask you the company size and all of these things. You just mention anything, it's fine. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to fix the error in our lab. So you open it. It will take 1 or 2 minutes and it will log in. Type the password OI bootcamp, whatever is mentioned on the top. You can just use that insert button next to it. Next to that,
Okay, this one.
now open this launchpad. Close this and go to the file folder.
Okay. Stop.
Go to the files folder there. C drive. Go to go back. Click on program files and then go to one identity. One identity manager. Now on the top, the type icon. Click on that type columns where we have column headers. Click on type.
I didn't get your.
No, the headers where we have these name, date, modified, type. Click on that type.
This one. Okay.
Okay, scroll up to the top. Scroll down and open any tool you can open. Open sync editor.
Okay.
Not this one, at the bottom. The password over here would be not this one. The password is OI bootcamp 100. So instead of that 200, it is 100. Just insert that bottom one and instead of 200, make it as 100.
100. Okay. Yeah, I mean,
Getting connected for you. Just see if there is any option. If you can give me the control over here. Let's see.
there is only share option. Let me disconnect and reconnect. No, there's no.
Okay, if it is not there, then you can enter the full screen mode and then share your screen. Okay. Just expand this window. Yeah, over here only. So now, if you open that Active Directory connector that is mentioned on the bottom, yeah, double click on that. Now double click on this Active Directory domain, the right side one. Okay. So whatever we did in our lab that I went on and I created the Active Directory project, what it would have done, that it would have created a similar thing that you are seeing over here. Okay. The same thing you will be able to see in that machine also. Now there are two types of connections. One is one identity manager connection. So if you double click on that one identity manager connection, please.
Mhm.
So this is the connection to our database, one identity database. So whatever the details are mentioned over here are related to our database. Okay. So if you will click on the edit connection, update schema, browse, shrink. So these details, everything will happen on your own one identity manager database. No need to do it. It's already connected. Connected. Okay. Now, if you click on that browse button, and open Active Directory group, expand, click on that. So you can see that from here also you can see all the groups that are available in our Active Directory domain. Okay, you can see the details and everything from here. Now cancel this. Now if you click on that setup button, so this setup button, what it does, you can see the option over here is connection is read only. Okay. So if you mark it as connection is read only, what will happen that anything will not be written into one identity database. So one identity database will become a read only connection, and you cannot write anything to one identity manager database. Okay. Then we have this retry count. Retry count is something that suppose you have this created this connector and it is trying to read your one identity manager database connection. But unfortunately, the job server or database server is down. So retry is what it will do. If you give a retry of 3 over here, what it will do that every 10 minutes it will try to redo the thing. Okay, it will retry to read the things. If it is not working, what will happen that after the third retry, it will come into the frozen mode. Okay. So that is the use of retries and delay between retries. Now at the bottom, you can see we have the option create sync log. So sync log is something that what happens that when you are running the synchronization or provisioning, so you have the option to select the changes that you want to be created in the logs. So if the like in here you can see they have selected all of these things. So all of these things are checked. That means that any changes to the objects in one identity manager, any updates, any inserts, any deletion, any frozen things, everything will be logged in the logs. Okay, so if they have selected everything, mostly what other organizations or in real time what people do is they'll only select the failed objects, including modified properties. Okay. Or if you can mute your mic. Okay, there is some background noise coming. I can just
Okay.
explain. Yeah, thanks. So whatever you select over here, mostly the companies will select only failed objects. The reason behind it is that if you select all of them, it will create huge log files in your system and it will occupy more space. So mostly the companies only select this third option, that is the failed objects, including modified properties and values. Okay. Now you can cancel it. The second important thing that comes into the sync editor tool is you click on that target system just below that one identity manager. So now we saw that what was there in the one identity manager connection, like it was our database connection. Now when we click on this target system, this is the target database. It is not only relation to this particular connector. The same configuration will be available for all the connectors. So if you talk about the if you talk about the SAP connector or any connector, the same configuration will be there, that there will be one identity manager database connection. Then there will be similarly there will be this thing that would be a target database, SAP connector, AD connector, Exchange, or whatever you have selected. So that connector. Now if you again click on that browse button, click on groups. So these are all the groups that are available on the target machine. Okay, so these are all the groups available on the target machine, ADS domain, whatever we have selected. These are all the things available there. So this is the way you can navigate to both the things. You can navigate to the Active Directory one identity tables, or you can navigate to Active Directory target system database and view the data that is there in both the systems. Okay, now you can cancel it. The same options of setup, if you click on the setup, the same option is available over here also. That you can make the target system as read only. If you want that target system we should not write anything, you can make it as read only. You can again do this retry counts and display between and data to log and everything. You can select these things. Okay, click OK again. Okay. The next important things that comes into the play is the variables. This is a very important thing. So click on variables. So variables is something that is very easily understandable, that these are the variables that are required to connect into the Active Directory system. Okay. So you can see the base login account, administrator. So similarly, the account that we also used the administrator account to log in into the Active Directory domain when we were creating the sync project. So similarly, they also have used this administrator account. Then we have this base password, CP base password, which is the password and it is encrypted so that anyone else cannot see it. The port also, you can see the AD port that is used is 389. Okay. Root DN and AD server, these are the things that might vary in the other servers. Okay. So that is why these are all the variables that are created. So when we create this Active Directory connector, the way we created in our lab, these variables appear automatically. Okay, because it is an out of the box connector, these things will come automatically. You need not to do anything. But suppose I'm telling you a scenario which will be used in the organizations, and every organization you will be seeing the same thing. Okay, so you at the bottom you can see there is something called specialized variable sets. Okay, So the use of this specialized variable sets is that suppose you have multiple ADS domains. Okay, you like in our current scenario, we have just iamdemo.com, and in our lab it was corp.askmeidentity.com. But in many situations or in many organizations, the scenario is that for multiple different locations, like for EMEA or for Asia, they will be having the different, uh, they'll be having different Active Directory domains. So this specialized variables, what it does, that you can create a set of variables like the one that is created on the top. Similarly, you can create different specialized variables over here for different ADS domains. Okay, this is one application of specialized variables. The other very important use of this specialized variable is that suppose you have created a new connector, okay, in your dev environment. Now, obviously, the connector in the dev environment will use a different, ADS domain. It would be the dev domain that it will be using. The credentials will be used for the dev environment only, the dev ADS domain and everything. And the UAT staging and prod, obviously the environments, as the environments change, the credentials and the ADS domain will also change. Okay, because in the lower environments you will use the non-prod ADS domain, and in the prod you will be using the prod ADS domain. So with this specialized variable sets, you can again create 4 different type of specialized variable sets, one for dev, one for UAT, one for stage, and one for prod, and define the different credentials over here only. So now what will happen, that once you have created the sync, you have created this connector over here. Now you want to move it to the higher environments like UAT, stage, and prod. You don't need to do anything like related to working on this credentials again, or changing the variables, because you have already created it for UAT, stage, dev, and prod. You can use those credentials again very easily. Okay, so in the next step we will see that how we use it. Okay, so click on the startup configurations now. Okay, so over here you can see the we are using the initial synchronization workflow currently. Okay, the schedule is there. Then we have the group variable set. Variables used is the default variable. Default variable set will be used. Now, if we would have created, suppose for a different location and ADS domain, we would have created a variable set. Then when you click on the edit button over here, you will get the option to select the variable sets. Okay, so over here you can select the variable set. Obviously, we have not created variable set is the second last option we have. No, the just above that we have this variable set. Yes. So obviously we have not created any variable set over here, but if it would have been, you would have selected dev, UAT, stage, prod, or any other ADS domain, and you can create a configuration over here. Okay. Similarly, you could have created multiple different sets of configuration over here for different systems. Okay. So suppose you have 5 Active Directory domains, you created 5 different variable sets, and now just click the cancel button. And like the way it is created initial synchronization, you could have created sync for Active Directory domain 1, sync for Active Directory domain 2, sync for Active Directory domain 3, and you could easily select the timings. Like obviously you won't want all the syncs to run at the same time, so you can select the schedule based on the timing, that they have a gap of 2 hours or 3 hours in between. So you can create a session like in that way. Okay, so this is where you will be using the sync values. Then we have another important thing, that is mappings. So just click on the left side on the mappings. Bottom, yes. So mappings is something that if you click on any one of them, just click on you can select group. Yeah, select that one. Double click that. Okay. So what this is, that you can see that over here on the right side, left side, it is mentioned ADS group all IAM server 1 IAM on the top. So this means that this side is our one identity manager database table, that is ADS group. And on the right side, we have group all active directory service root domain. So this is something that is the table of the ADS target system. Okay. So these are all the columns of our one identity manager database table. And on the right side, we have all the columns of the ADS target system database. Okay. And in the middle is something that is called the mapping. Mapping means that which attribute is mapped to which attribute of the target system. Okay, so if you see, these are the object matching rules, like these are the primary matching rules that should be there, like the object ID and object distinguish name. These are the primary matching objectives. Below that, this is property mapping rules. It is the thing that all the columns are mapped to the column 2 of a. So if you scroll to the right side, or just double click on that, so you can see that the rule name is given, the display name is given. Then we have this ignore mapping direction restrictions on adding. So that means that if any of the direction is given, it should always follow the rules that are provided. Okay. Then you can see at the bottom there is one identity manager and the target system. We have a column from both of them. Okay, so these two are mapped. Mapped means that they are allowed to do the synchronization and provisioning. So how do we know that if it is doing a synchronization or provisioning? Just cancel this and expand this middle pane a bit so that you can just see it. Okay, so for the first property, you can see the group manager can update membership. There are two arrows, one on the left side and one on the right side. So if the arrow is on the both sides, that means that we have allowed both synchronization and provisioning for this attribute. The second attribute where it is mentioned the VRT canonical name. So over there, we just have a single arrow, which is pointing towards our one identity manager table. Okay. So this means that this is a read only attribute and you are only allowed to read the value from the target system and you can read it into your one identity manager database. So that means that only synchronization is allowed for the canonical name. Similarly, common name also has one arrow towards our one identity. VRT name has a arrow towards the target system. That means that only provisioning is allowed. Synchronization is not allowed for this attribute. So this is something that you can, you can define it over here. Any questions on this mapping? Okay, so this is something that you can define over here. Okay, there are multiple other things that you can do over here. That suppose that you want conditional mapping. Conditional mapping means that you don't want all the canonical names to be read or written to the one identity manager system. You only want fixed canonical names that have a particular um, that have a particular value or they have a particular kind of suffix. So that also you can put some conditions. So there is a particular thing that where you can write the conditions, and when you write the condition, based on that only the filtered data will be synchronized or provisioned. Okay, so these are the mappings. So everything that you see on the left side inside the navigation, like built-in domain, computer, contact, container, extreme left side, yeah. So all these are the different tables and their mappings to the target systems. Okay, these are the names of the mappings, and then when you will click on them, you will find that which one identity table is connected to which one target system table. Then the next important thing that comes over here is the workflows. So if you click on that workflows on the left side below mappings, extreme left, yes. So there are three workflows that they have defined. One is initial sync, one is provisioning, and one is provision person data. So if you click on that initial sync, it has multiple mappings. Okay, so these are again the mappings that we have created. Okay, but workflow is something that will do a different thing. Okay, so again open that group workflow, scroll to the bottom and open that group one. Okay, so over here you can see the name, the mapping, synchronization direction is one identity manager. Okay, so that means the sync will, obviously it is a synchronization, so synchronization direction will always be towards one identity. As I told you that synchronization means pulling data from target system. Okay, use revision filter. This is a very important thing. Revision filtering, what does it mean? That suppose if you are doing a sync every day, okay, you are doing a sync every night or every day, so what will happen that you want that instead of syncing everything or checking all the things on the target system, only check the things that have been changed or modified. Okay, so suppose there are 1000 records and you don't want that one identity should read each one of them one by one. Instead, the records that have been changed, like suppose there are 50 records that have been changed, so only those 50 records should be read by one identity, and for those only the synchronization should work. So if we apply this use revision filter, so it will only fetch the items that have changed. If it is not applied, what will happen? One identity will read all 1000 items, and obviously it will take time to read all of them and do the sync. Okay, so this is where the revision filtering is used. Exception handling is something that if you want to use any exception handling, you can select any of the things from the drop down and select the exception handling. Okay, so there are different type of this thing also, that continue or error, that even if the error comes you can continue. Break on error means that if the error comes, that will halt the synchronization or provisioning, and it will throw an error and make the job into frozen mode. Okay, the next thing is just no, don't cancel it, click on the processing one. So here is one of a very important thing that you will see. Run the following methods in target system when syncing from one identity to target system. So obviously the workflow that we have selected is the synchronization workflow. So there will be no methods that will be applying over here that will move the changes from one identity manager to target system. So that is why you can see the first tab or the first half of this page has everything called do nothing. Okay, because obviously this is a sync project, so there will be no changes from one identity to target system. Now where it is mentioned run the following methods in one identity when syncing from 10 target system to one identity, that is something we are covering at the moment. So objects only found in target system are inserted. So that means that any new thing that is created on the target system will be automatically added to our one identity manager. So we have selected this insert method over here. Objects only found in targets in one identity manager are marked as outstanding. What does this mean? That if there are any objects that are only found in one identity manager target database, we'll mark them as outstanding. Object with modified properties. So object with modified properties means that if there is any update that has come up, so in that case what we are doing is that we are removing the deletion flag and then we are updating the object. So you can see there is an exclamation mark with red color just next to the remove deletion flag. Just click on that. So this method is only run conditionally. So that means that remove deletion flag will happen on some conditions. So just next to the left side on the delete button, there is an icon. Okay, workflow icon. Click on that. So you can see this is the condition. So if any particular record is marked as base outstanding, okay, so for only those records, this particular thing will happen. So this is the condition that has been mentioned. It is created in such a way that you can use an AND operator again and then put any other attribute is equal to false or give any value over here. So in that way it is mentioned over here. Okay, even you can write a SQL query also just to check or apply the things. Click OK. Okay, so this is about the workflows. Now cancel it and come to the provisioning workflow now. Open the group one again. No, that is fine. Just double click on the provisioning one. And again come to group on the right side. Expand the group. Click on edit. And click on processing. So now you can see that here the things are entirely different. So when we open the sync editor one, initial synchronization one, so at the bottom half of the page, it was showing that what operations it has to do. Now because it is provisioning and obviously we'll be doing the changes from one identity manager to target system. So the first half of the page is mixed with operations. So objects only found in one identity manager are inserted. Objects only found in target system are deleted. Objects with modified properties like the update events will be updated to the target system. Okay. So once this is created, you can cancel this now. Click on the configuration again. And click on the base objects. Bottom. Yeah. So base object, just double click on that. So base object is something that where you suggest that what would be the base table, okay, or base object. Now why is this required? Suppose we have a lot of domains, as I told you that currently in our this particular demo session, we only have one base object. Okay. Now in some cases there might be a possibility that there are multiple domains. So here you will select the base table as ADS domain. Then base object you will select the domain that you want to use it for. Okay. So if there are 5 different domains, you will create 5 different base objects, and these base objects are again something that is used for the synchronization or provisioning. Okay. Here also you can see you have the option to select the variable set. So you can select the variable set, like if you have created a domain 1, domain 2 variable set, you can select the variable sets over here, and based on that you can do the synchronization and provisioning. So that is the level of customizations that are provided by one identity, that you can customize everything very in a very proper way. Okay. So even here also, if you have multiple domains, you can do this. Similarly, if you are working on a SAP connector and in the SAP connector you have multiple SAP connector, you have multiple SAP target systems. So similarly, there we have a table called SAP. I think the name is SAP delegation, something like that, where we have all the target databases stored for the SAP connectors. Okay, so there also you can select the different kind of base objects over here. Okay, then select the synchronization server, the job server. Synchronization server means job server, and then you can select the base server variable set. Okay, so once you select all these things, now click OK. Come back to startup configurations again. Once you have selected all these things, Here you will see all the different synchronization configurations that you have done. Once it is set up, your one identity manager synchronization project is ready. Now, how to use it is something that we'll just see. So go back to Launchpad, please, and open. Click on. No, yeah, I think you can click on Launchpad. It will work. Here, type that same password. The bottom one. Oh, the top one is same. Yeah. And go to Tools. Open Object Browser, or you can have open Manager also. Let's do it from Manager. And open Sync Editor tool also. Sync Editor is already open, right? So open the job queue. Sorry, open the job queue tool. Yeah. Now what we'll do is we'll go to Manager tool. At the bottom most you will be seeing ADS. Click on that ADS. And scroll down, go to groups. Click on the groups. Click on add button on the top. Okay. Type your name over here, Bharat. Container, provide a container over here. IAM demo. You can select users here. And rest of the things will already be filled up. So no need to, yeah, you can type Bharat over here also. Other things are not required to be filled. Just click save now. Okay. Now, as soon as you click on the save button, go to job queue and refresh it. So you will see a new process coming up over here. That is ADS group insert. Okay. So this is doing the ad hoc projection. Ad hoc projection means it is running that same sync project that we just saw. And the sync part that we saw that the workflow initial synchron. Sorry, it will run the provisioning. So the workflow that we just saw, the provisioning workflow, that will trigger over here. So just right click on that ad hoc projection. That blue, yeah, right click over there and click on monitor process. Let's wait. Okay, so it has now converted to history. That means that has been completed successfully. Now go back to the sync editor tool again. Okay, go to the logs at the left bottommost, and there is a energy bar on the top, energy sign. Click on that sign. So you can see this is the provisioning log that has been created. So just double click that. And scroll down, or you can on the left side, you can click on the details. Yep. So over here, you can see that there has been one insertion, group insert one. Okay. And these are the details, like what has been inserted, all the values that have been inserted. So will be displayed over here. These are the new values that has been inserted. So this is how the provisioning looks like. Okay, well, like provisioning is a ad hoc process. Ad hoc means that as soon as anything is created on the one identity manager system, it will be automatically and immediately migrated or provisioned to the target system. So that is called ad hoc method. Okay, like it is done ad hoc. Now any changes to the target system. Now what we'll do, we'll check the synchronization. Okay. Now click on the Windows icon on the extreme left bottom. Windows icon. And type active. Here, open this. And you can add any new user over here. Create a new user. Give it a name. You can give a logon name also. Okay. Next. Just give your password. Give the password like p@ssw0rd123. Okay. So now once it is done, now as we created this user over here, right? So it will not be automatically synced immediately to the one identity manager database, like the way we saw the synchronization, the provisioning happening. Synchronization will happen based on the uh, sync that we have set up. So go back to the sync editor tool. Go to configuration, startup configurations. So over here you can see that we have used the schedule daily execution of initial synchronization. That means that only when this schedule will be activated, okay, the time that has been given to the schedule, then only the sync will run. If you want to run it right now, you just click on that run button. Yes. Click OK. Yes. Synchronization was started successfully. Now go back to the job queue. And yeah, so you can see this is the sync project that has been executed. Right click on that and expand all nodes and right click monitor. Click on monitor process. Okay, so that means it is completed now. Now when you will go back to the logs, go to sync editor tool again and click the logs, refresh it. So you'll be able to see another one that is for the sync. Click on the details and you will be able to see that this is the new account that has been. Okay, I think there are multiple records that have been inserted. So your account would also be here. Yep, this is your account. So this is how you can see that this synchronization works, that all the records that were recently inserted or updated, they have all been moved to our One Identity Manager database from the target system. So click on the details again and click on overview. Click on details again. Now scroll a little bit up. So here, just a little down. So here you can see that the number of insertions and updations or deletions that have come up. Scroll a little bit more down. Processed objects. So ADS account insert 1. So the account that was created by Bharat, that is the insert. ADS account updates, so 151. ADS group update 1. So these are the recent changes that were done. Now if you'll go back to now do one thing. If you go to the manager tool again, and click on ADS and click on accounts, user accounts. Type the name of the user. On the top there is a icon, filter icon. You can use that SQL on the left side. Export mode and type over here CN. Oh yes, you can use SAM account name. Yeah, use it. Use SAM account name or whatever. Run commerce. So you can see that this is the user that has been recently added to our One Identity database. So this is how the creation of a new connector looks like. So we created the new connector, we click the changes, and then we see that how the synchronization and provisioning works. Any questions on this?
Yeah, Vinay. So we did the synchronization, right? Whole AD group got synced. Is there a way to sync only particular account?
Yes. So for that, what you will have to do, if you want to do it only for a particular user, so you will have to create a new process. In my previous organization, what we did is we created a new process that was read. Okay, so read process, what it will do, that if you want to run it for a single user, you can run it for a single user. Otherwise, what you can do is you can create a new workflow where you select a particular table. Okay, like click on the workflows. So currently you can see in the initial synchronization, we have all the tables over there, right? And you want that
Yes.
only the user table should be used. So you create a new workflow and only add user accounts to that particular workflow. So what will happen that if you run the sync for that approval work for that workflow, then only for the users it will apply. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to do it for a particular table, you can do it from here. If you want to do it for a particular record, you will have to create a custom process for that, where you can just run it for the single user.
Okay. And one more thing, see, even here in my organization, I didn't understand whenever we do this monitor, right? So what we are checking here, I don't see any difference here when we set the monitor option. It's
See,
constant.
monitor option is only used. Suppose there is a job that is processing, okay, and you just expanded it. So until and unless you hit the refresh button again and again, you won't be able to see the current status of it. So when you just click on that monitor button, you will be able to see that currently which particular thing it is processing, okay, on which step it is. Otherwise, it won't let you know. The status will not change automatically. You'll have to click the refresh button. So that is the only
Oh,
benefit, that if the process has multiple steps, monitor process will show you that currently it is processing which step.
okay. Okay.
Any other questions or anything before we proceed to our last topic of today?
Mm,
Anyone, please, if you have any questions, please. Okay.
And
So if you,
you showed us how to connect AD using the connectors, right? So
yeah.
do we also have option to do a custom connection? Let's say there is some software which is not popular, and we'll need to connect it to IDM. So is it possible, like custom connectors?
So yes. So the custom connector topic is something that we will be covering tomorrow. So custom
Okay.
connector, what we do is mostly we use the concept of the unified namespace, UNS. Okay, so in your organization, there must be a table called UNS accounts, UNS account in
Yeah.
UNS group D. So
Yes.
that is the place where we have all the custom target databases or custom target systems that are, so that is where we achieve.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll discuss the unified namespace topic tomorrow.
Okay. Sure. Then
So
that's
yeah.
yeah.
So currently, what we are going to do is day before yesterday, we created one script, right? I'm not sure whether it is
Yes.
available over here or not. Go to the designer tool. I think it would have been removed.
So in this demo session, whatever changes I make, anyone can see, right? Then
Yeah, so the instance is only particular to you, okay, and it will remain the data whatever you are creating today or whatever you are doing today will remain only for 24 hours. After that, it will get removed. Okay, so let me do one thing. Let me share the script with you, and you can just copy paste it. Okay, I've just shared that script. Copy it. So it's not in the correct format. I'll guide you how to write it.
Okay.
Click on create a new script on the right. Um, can you please expand your screen a bit? Okay, fine now. Okay, so now what you need to do is import system.connection.generic. Bring that bracket, remove that, first remove that space between these two things, and then bring the back bracket close to ADS group. Okay, of string, so it is not recognizing it at the moment. So just delete that, yeah, put it in the new line. Now of string where it is mentioned, it is not able to understand it. I think of is mentioned as 0. Correct that. Okay. Table dot the on the 9th line, just make it on the new line. Table dot prototype dot column. Hit enter. Again after true table dot load, hit enter. For each able item as I call ELM in table string, I think rest of the things are fine. Click on save and type the same function name that is mentioned here on the top in the script name. Paste ADS group, copy it and paste it on the. Okay. Now click on that compiler button that is mentioned on the top. So next to the cancel button. Yes.
So no need to save.
No, first compile it. It should not take this much of time. It should happen instantly, like within 1 or 2 seconds. Um, so basically, when we click over here, this is called a local compilation. Local compilation means that only the script will be compiled, the current script that you have created. Nothing else will be compiled in the system. So it is compiled like immediately in 2 to 3 seconds. Not sure why it's taking so much of time. Just click on anywhere else. Click anywhere else.
No. No, it's not working.
Let's wait for 1 more minute to see.
Guys, I have a meeting. I'm going to log out. So hope it is recording, right? I can review the session.
Yeah, it's getting recorded.
Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, thanks, Shubham. Click on go to the bottom and click on Task Manager. Click on more details. Let's see how much memory it is consuming. Delete a few of the things, like at the bottom, not under designer. You can stop sync editor. It is not required anymore. Kill that. MMC is also not required. Click close that. Microsoft Manager Console. Yeah, close Task Manager now. Okay, let's end this also. Close the designer also and let's reopen it. Yes. Go to script library. Custom scripts on the right side you can see. Just select your one. So now let's not, no, don't click on that. I don't want to do that same thing again. So click on commit to database and don't click save. Okay, I'll show you one more thing. So when you click on commit to database, you will be able to see the changes over here. Okay. Other thing, very important, and guys, please make sure you are looking into this, is saving this change, whatever the change we have done right now, to save this to a change label. Okay. So on the top, you can see there is something called change label and no change label selected. So just click next to it. There is an arrow button. Click on that. Click on the add button at the bottom. We'll discuss the use of this tomorrow, but we'll keep it created today. Just give it a name: creation of creation of ADS script or whatever. Click on the save button on the top. No, in the at the bottom, and click OK. Click save. Okay, so now that means your changes have been saved to a particular change label. We learn tomorrow that what is the use of change label, but for now, whatever the changes we have done are saved in the change label. Now the next thing that we'll be doing is go to the base data on the left side, bottom left. There is second last option, and expand general node. Click on configuration parameters and expand custom. Right click on the custom, select new, click on new, give it a name as just select the checkbox and give it a name, parameter name, give it UID ADS domain. Okay, now open the object browser. Okay, select the ADS domain table, click on that filter option, select it, and copy the value of UID ADS domain. Click on that and paste it. Now copy the path of that root custom UID ADS domain. Come back to your script.
Script.
Yeah, script over here only. No, you can navigate it to, there is a option on the top next to configuration parameters in the middle pane only. There is an arrow, downwards arrow. Right, go right, a little bit of right. No, on the top.
Oh, this one.
This one. Select test script ADS script. Over here, provide this inside get config parameter. Provide this path value. The line no, scroll up. Line number 6. I think it's the same value. Just copy paste it. If there is no uppercase, lowercase.
Same thing is copying from clipboard.
I think it is same only, right? UID ADS domain only.
Yeah, it's same. Custom.
Just I think ADS is also capital. Yeah. Now click save. Now again click on commit to database.
Commit. Okay.
Okay. Select the change label again from the drop down now. Click save. Okay. So now we have saved the changes. Now we'll click on the database compilation. Go to database on the top left and click on compile database. Click next.
Okay.
Do not let it be. Praveen left the conversation.
I think Bharat left.
Yeah. Bharat has left. Just connect with him if he is joining back.
I'm checking.
ಹಲೋ ಇಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ ತಿರ್ಗಾ.
Yeah.
No, I think it's completed. I missed it actually in between.
Bharat, could you please repeat what you were saying?
No, actually, I think it is completed, but I missed the. Will it show any success page after completion?
No, it will just show you the finish button if you have clicked on it. Have you clicked on the finish button?
No. Not sure. Can I start it
Go
again?
to sync editor, it will show you if the database has been compiled. Not sync editor, sorry, job queue. Waiting for compiler, it is showing. No, you can see it on the bottom right. Waiting for compiler. So just compile it again. I think there might be some. It's taking a lot of time. Click on cancel. Let's do it in another way.
Okay.
Click on test script. At the bottom, you can see there is an option test script.
Yep.
Scroll up a bit. It's not showing yet. Click on the local compilation.
Where it is?
A local compilation on the top. Yeah. That button only. Next to the delete option button.
Oh, this one.
Okay, I think there is some restriction that they have done over here. It is compilation is not working over here. Okay, anyways, you can just let it be. So basically the goal of this was to show you that once we would have if this script would have worked, what you could have seen is that you could have seen if you will hit the run button, and if you would have seen the result, in the result you would have seen all the ADS groups coming in the result with comma separated values. Okay, so this was just to show you that how we use a script in the one identity manager. Okay, so it's unfortunately it's not allowing us to run the script. Mandatory to compile the scripts first, then only it will show up or it will work. But if the compilation is not happening or it is not working, then this is an issue. Okay, so let it be, Bharat. If it's not working, we can leave it. So,
Okay.
any questions or anything from today what we have done?
I think we are good. I mean, we have to go back and see and try those things. Then we'll get more questions. But
So please go through the trainings. Okay, it would be great in the first 30 minutes of our session you ask your questions and we work on those queries only. So it would be great learning for all of you also, and like it would be good for me also that I can guide you on different things. Okay?
Sure. Yep.
So tomorrow we will be working on the another custom connector, that would be the CSV connector. So we'll see that how the CSV connector works. Okay, and the process. So we'll see that how we create a new process in the designer tool. And the third thing would be the unified namespace concept. So these are the three things that we'll try to cover in tomorrow's lab.
Okay, great.
Okay, cool. Let's wind up today's call. Thank you guys. Thanks all.
Sure. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much.
guys.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.